Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. All right, so some news here as far as practice. We talking about practice in this shortened week here. Cam Erving, unfortunately, has been put on IR with his knee. Another blow to our offensive lineman. This is crazy. I want you to think about this. The beginning of the season, the Dallas Cowboys actually had 10 offensive linemen on the first 53-man roster. 10 offensive linemen, right? 7 of them have been placed on IR at some point or the other. 7 of them. It's unreal the amount of injuries that have happened this year. It's unprecedented. I mean, we've all seen injuries and the injury bug being bad. But this season with COVID, the lack of OTAs, with the lack of preseason games, with the shortened training camp where they had 14 padded practices, it's just been awful. The guys are literally, and this is my worry going forward here, because every time they do a new collective bargaining agreement, they get further and further away from practice. They're trying to protect the players. They're saying, you know what, the more you hit, the more chances you have of getting a concussion and stuff. But I look at it kind of differently, because if that were the case, then we would have all just been knocked silly. Well, I do kind of have some lapses of memories of things, and I do lose my keys and stuff. But we practiced 2-a-days with a full padded special team practice in between in high school. And college at JMU, it was run literally like boot camp. We had practice before we had breakfast. We literally had a 7 a.m. practice. Then we had brunch while we're watching film of practice. Then we had our group meetings, and then from there we'd have an afternoon practice. We'd have weightlifting, and we were hitting like crazy. I'm telling you, Charles Haley once in practice, okay? Not a game, we're talking about practice, hit a guy so hard he became a cheerleader. Seriously. He jacked him up. Literally, he was carried off on a stretcher, and it messed up a bone in his neck. They said, if you ever get hit there again, you'll be paralyzed. Dude became a cheerleader. It's no joke. We hit and we hit and we hit and we hit and we hit some more. And when we're done doing that, we hit some more. And then we ran our ass off because we never winded at a game. But now it's kind of like this namby-pamby NFL that, only one padded practice a week, but you can only have 11 of them during the season. Oh, there's only 14 padded practices, and you can't hit a guy and take him to the ground. And it seems like there's more injuries now that they practice less. And now they're talking about doing away with a lot of the preseason games. I worry going forward that what's going to happen is, to me, it's like this. You can't say to a NASCAR driver, you're going to practice at 55 miles an hour and then expect him to drive speeds over 200 on the weekend for a race. You can't. You're just going to be crashing. You have to do things in real speed. You have to learn how to tackle correctly, because this is where I believe a lot of these guys, instead of actually having good technique of understanding of getting your head across the body, catching the guy with your shoulders here, wrapping the flippers around them and taking him to the ground, driving them backwards. Instead, they're just like, well, I'm just going to hit him with my head as hard as I can and knock him out of the way. And that's where all the concussion and the brain trauma comes in. But anyway, back to this thing. So Cam Erving back on IR, knee injury and things. And it's kind of like one of those things for us that we get a guy back, we lose somebody else. Luke Gifford is now back, linebacker. Hasn't played that much. But maybe he should, because our linebacking play has been terrible. He was suspended for 2 games for substance abuse. Now he's back on the roster, so he's back at practice today. So hopefully, maybe he can help, put some fire in those other guys behind. And if it were me, since the Dallas Cowboys right now are kind of putting people on notice, when you talk about, telling guys, hey, there's a lack of effort in that fourth quarter and things like that. You know how you send a message to them? You sit their ass down. You bring up the next guy, because that next guy is going to be hungry, because he's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to get a spot on the roster. But if guys understand, So what? Okay, the game was out of hand. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm going to live to fight another day. I'm not going to risk this for a garbage game in garbage time. You sit him down. You let him know that his career with you is in jeopardy, that he can carry his ass someplace else. Because I want 11 guys on the field that are all giving everything they got on every single play. I don't understand this stuff about guys that are half stepping in the game. One game, total game, is 60 minutes of actually playing time. 60 minutes. Take out the special teams, and if you're on offense, you're on defense. You're talking about playing what? 25 minutes? I need everything you got for 25 minutes. That's it. You got one job, and that is giving me full effort for that 25, 27 minutes, however long it is. I need everything you got. I need your attention. I need your focus. I need you to sacrifice your body, because that's what you're being paid for. And if you can't do that, then we need to find somebody who can. And that's the way that he can start laying down the law. Happy to hear that Jerry Jones is talking about change. We'll see if Jerry Jones does any changing. I'm glad to hear Mike McCarthy saying that, you know what, we got a failure to communicate what we want to do and design with the coaches. I like hearing that Mike McCarthy is talking to the players about giving full effort. All these things should have been happening 10 weeks ago. But I guess better late than never. Too late to save this season. But let's hope we're saving some of the future. I will see you guys in 2.5 hours. We'll have Skywalker Steel. This is going to be a no holds bar. I'm going to put it out there the way I feel about everything. Skywalker Steel, the young gun, man, dude breaks down film like nobody's business. In fact, I'm going to show a clip of Terrence Steele that he brought in, because he showed Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele is actually doing some work out there. Yeah. It's a damn shame that our Dallas Cowboys season has literally come down to this. We're in December, the time that teams are making runs for the playoffs. And we, my friend, the only thing we're running for in the running for draft picks. Yeah. What you gonna do? Watch the Joe Blue Sports Report.